Hello, welcome to my review of Joop Femme by Joop. Happy New Year to everyone as well. It's my first review this year. I haven't done one for about 2 weeks. Christmas and New Year always gets in the way of stuff, doesn't it? So, yeah, I'm back again anyway. So this one, yeah, this one's got quite a few good memories for me. A good friend of mine used to wear this when I was at school. So that was the first time I ever smelled it on anybody, and I've always remembered it, but I only recently bought it about 3 years ago, and then I finished it and I've bought another one because it's just nostalgic, but it's also a really good perfume, and I think it gets overlooked quite a lot. So anyway, I'm not sure if this was their first fragrance by any means, but it's 1987, so it's an 80s fragrance, and it does scream 1980s. So it's an Oriental Woody from 1987, like I just said. Here's the box. Just while I'm showing you this, I'm just going to say that this perfume to me is a classic example of don't judge a book by its cover. I personally find the packaging really boring. I mean, it's kind of midnight blue and fades to a bit darker. It just says Joop on the front. The bottle, not the greatest looking thing in the world, but yeah, it's just really plain. It's flat on one side and then rounded like that. So it's kind of shaped like that, you can see. Not much detailing, just another big Joop on the front. And yeah, that's it really. Gold sprayer, nothing magical or anything like that. I used to, I was one of those boys that used to really overspray the Joop for men, the kind of purple liquid. Would never do that now, but at the time it was kind of new and fresh, and everyone seemed to wear it. It was just one of those ones, but I didn't smell many girls wearing this. So many boys went for that one, but not so much for this one, for the girls. So what's it got in it? So the top notes, this has got a lot of stuff in it, a lot of heavy stuff anyway. You've got top notes of aldehydes, coriander, lemon, bergamot, and then fruity notes, nondescript. Can't really find out what they are, but it doesn't really smell fruity or citrusy to me anyway, in any way, shape or form, at any stage of wearing it, so I'll probably just ignore that anyway. That's just my opinion. The heart notes are rose, lily of the valley, jasmine and orange blossom. So 4, I guess, magnificent flowers there. 3 really powerful ones, and then the most famous flower of them all, the rose. And then the base is really heavily packed with a lot of heavy stuff, or a lot of just powerful, distinct notes. So you've got musk, cedarwood, patchouli, vanilla, the controversial note of civet, amber, tonka, oak moss, and sandalwood. So that is a very big base there. So yeah, I mean, on paper it kind of looks a bit scary, but this is so well balanced that it just astounds me. I think it's a real incredible perfume. I love it. So yeah, let me just, I don't know why I put it away actually, because I need to spray it on my hand anyway. Silly me. Right, so it sprays out a lot. Yeah, can you see that? I don't know, but a lot comes out. Probably going to choke now, but never mind. So so when you first smell it, of course it's a huge jumble of stuff. A lot of fragrances are like that, and this is another one where I can imagine people just being completely put off, but I like fragrances that unfold and kind of get into their stride a little bit, and this is definitely one of those. I really appreciate perfumes that do that, because that's what they're kind of supposed to do, take you on a bit of a journey, I guess. Yeah, so this, it's got a lot of jasmine. It's a real kind of mixture of floral and woods. The floral is really heavy, and when I first smelled this when I was at school, I kind of wasn't into perfume as much then, and I'm going to say that my nose probably wasn't as trained as it is now, so I was kind of smelling it for what it is, and what I think it smells like overall is incense, like a real crisp floral incense. And when I say incense, I don't mean incense in the way of kind of resinous incenses like, you know, like myrrh or frankincense or anything like that. It really does smell like Indian incense. It has that feel to it, but it's really kind of, I don't know, it's sharp. It's not like a smoky incense, it's not resinous incense, it's kind of kept sharp all the way from when you first spray it to when it kind of starts to dry a bit. It has this kind of, it screams 80s, it's verging on, I say this about some fragrances, it's kind of verging on being classic and modern. I think at the time it probably smelt very modern in the 80s. I've not smelt many things that are like this, and that's why I've got it. I try to, the ones that I go for, I do try to get some sort of, you know, originality. But the overall feel, yeah, is incense. But what I can also smell in this, and it's very surprising that it still smells lovely and it works, is civet. I can smell civet in this, and that is, you know, if you know fragrances, it's a very controversial note. It's a very animalic note. It can smell really horrible if it's done wrongly, but this, along with Shalimar by Guerlain, or Guerlain, I can never pronounce that word, is the best civet I've ever smelled. It is so balanced out that it just gives it that amount of something almost kind of dirty, but not. It's so, I don't know, it's weird. It's a lot of stuff at once. You've got loads of other stuff in the bottom that's giving it that kind of, like I say, incensey, I guess exotic-y kind of feel. So you've got sandalwood, you've got amber in there. Cedar is another one to give something a slight crisp woodiness, and this has that. It's really nice. I wrote so much stuff down when I started thinking about what I was going to say with this. I wrote perfectly balanced. I put, yeah, it's crisp and sharp. It also has an element of powder, but it's not an in-your-face immediate, oh my god, that's a powdery perfume. It just has enough. Again, I say it's balanced. Everything seems to just fit perfectly. Oh, love it. Let me just pause my camera 1 second. Yeah, sorry, as I was saying, I have to pause my camera, otherwise it cuts me off. So, what else did I write? I wrote so much stuff. The civet gives it a slightly dirty animal tone, but it's just enough. And the musk as well. I wrote Indian. Indian to me, when I say it smells Indian, I've been to India twice, and it has that kind of wispy, smoky, incensey smell when you walk through the streets sometimes, and I kind of get that from this. It's really cool. I just really like it. So yeah, it's definitely very feminine, but I think it's kind of slightly dark smelling because of all this real heavy incensey exoticness. So it's not a dainty feminine fragrance in any way. It's like all the things I've just said, dirty, incensey, huge jasmine. But the jasmine in this isn't dirty either. Jasmine, I think, can smell sometimes, excuse me, you know, slightly rough, and it can be dry. This, again, it's not luscious jasmine. It's crisp. It's like the notes in it make the other notes smell like something else, and that's exactly what a perfume should do. So yeah, I'll just quickly talk about the dry down of it. I've had it drying on me for a while. The dry down sees it turn sweeter. The vanilla comes out a lot more and it shows itself, but it doesn't become a vanilla-y base. Again, it's really, really balanced. It's just enough sweetness. I don't find it to be overly sweet. It just comes out just enough, but you still get to keep the essence of what this actually feels like, which is that exotic, floral, woody incense. So it's really great. I really like it. It lasts for a really long time. A lot of perfumes from the 80s and 90s do. They were meant to be quite screamingly loud, and this one is no exception. Yeah, I think it's great. I'm going to enjoy using this second bottle. I don't really know when to wear it. It's one of those ones where I don't usually like to put an occasion or a time on a fragrance, but for review purposes I do, because it makes me think. And this one, I don't know, I reckon you could wear it during the day if you sprayed it lightly, but it would be a really good going out fragrance. You're going to have to kind of like that slightly classic feel to like this though, because it's not uber modern or for the young sort of teenage girl now, but anyone can wear anything, I've always said that, so if you want to try it, wear it. That's it, that's my review of Joop Femme. I'm glad to be back reviewing. I thought I'd forgotten how to do it, so I'll see you guys soon for another review, and as always, please subscribe if you like my reviews. I've now figured out how to put a link subscribe thing at the bottom. Clever me. Anyway, speak to you soon. Bye.